All right, sir. So who do I have here with me today?
Robert.
Nice to meet you, Robert. Love the name. Secondly, I gotta know how old you are and how long have you been displaced out here?
57 going on 12.
Going on 12 years?
57 going on 12.
Okay, 57 going on 12.
We're looking forward to puberty. I've heard so many good things about it.
Okay, all right, man. I get it. And how long have you been out here in these streets, man?
Since 2000.
Since 2000? That's a long time, man. I gotta play devil's advocate here, or just be play the other side and ask: have you took advantage of any anything that they offer or give you here?
Do you guys have to have a cigarette?
No.
Okay, good. Sorry about that.
Well, I've tried the shelter route. It's not good, especially for a man, you know, who can't defend himself.
Yes, sir.
Because, don't think for a moment that they won't take from a man in a wheelchair.
Oh no, yeah, they will.
And even before this, before I've been in the chair since 17.
Yeah.
But prior to that, you know, they're dangerous places.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, shelters. I've heard that, especially like Cass. I've heard that's pretty bad. Andre House is pretty
When
bad.
the doors are locked, you know, you're on your own. You know, it's like walking the yard.
Yep, walk in the yard.
You got, you go keep what you got. You got to, you know.
Gotta fight for it.
Yeah.
I get it, man. That's awful. You know, you would think there'd be someone who stays there overnight or to aid and assist people like you.
The problem, as I see it, is, you know, with this homeless situation, which is, you know, getting work, it could be solved. The resources are there, the money is there, the land, everything is there, and it could be easily solved. However, it's a money-making
Machine.
They make so much money in donations and
Grants.
Now, a lot of big people would lose money if the homeless problem was solved. They would lose income.
I agree with you, but I don't fully understand what's exactly going on. I just know that, like, for instance, I've been trying to get a 501c3 for a long time. We're in the middle of it, battling and fighting with these people.
Because you're trying to take a piece of their pie.
Yeah, they don't.
You're trying to sit at their table. You don't belong.
Yeah. Essentially, they're making me. It's came down to the last thing we got was it's something about me needing 3 people who are not who don't have my last name, or friends, or people of that nature, and I need 3 people so they could sit on the board and essentially allocate the funds that are donated or grants that are given. I mean, I could get 3 people, but I mean, I don't know 100% if these people would be honest. What happens if one of them does something wrong? Is it going to fall back on me and my family? And so that's what I'm worried about. So that's where we're at with it now.
It seems to me like, you know, that's a setup to fail. Because, you know, they want you to have 3 people you don't know.
I don't know. Isn't that don't even make sense?
No sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because they all know each other and they all know each other.
They party, have dinners, know each other's kids. They're
Their kids are married.
Yeah. I just, it didn't even make sense to me.
It's like the disability, Social Security. It's set up. The process is so tedious and and, and daunting that it's set up to make you quit trying.
Man.
I shattered 6 of my 7 cervical vertebrae. I don't qualify for disability.
Yeah, wow.
I have SSI now.
Okay.
Thanks to I'm going to start on that.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead, man. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, the people who run the show,
Mm-hmm.
you know, okay. Take, for instance, pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
Evil, evil people.
Oh, man. I heard.
Now, there's no profit in curing anything.
Yes.
There's profit in treating symptoms with patented drugs.
Sure.
And, COVID has shown us, if nothing else, COVID has shown us that the pharmaceutical companies own the media. They own the Congress. They own the Senate. They own basically everything.
Yeah. There's a big, huge group, and we're not in it.
Yeah, like George College did.
Yeah. I like George Collins.
We never will be.
Never will.
There's no seat at the table for us.
Yeah.
My father had his seat at the table. He was a naval officer.
Okay.
He started out as a frogman before Vietnam. He spent the Cold War swimming out of torpedo tubes and submarines.
Yeah, man. I just don't know what's going on and how are we going to change this? How is this going to change? And like you said, with homeless people gone, a lot of people will lose money. So they don't. It would appear that they don't want it gone.
They don't.
They just don't want it when it's in the way.
Right. Well,
when it gets in the way.
Phoenix, they have a lot of events, and when an event comes, when they're, they got golf. PGA comes in, and that whole area is swept. Everybody's run off. They're welcome. As long as you don't make mess, don't get loud.
Yeah.
Well, they have a schedule. It's event time. What do we got going on? We need to clean this area up. We need to clean that area up. Shuffle them around. Keep them moving.
Keep them moving. Boy, that's almost the perfect. That's exactly what goes on. Even here, in Tempe, they have the beach park.
Well, places like this, it gives the people who are, ground level a good feeling. If they're trying, they're still naive enough.
Yeah.
They're trying to solve the problem. Well, if you make it illegal to sleep on the grass, but they can come here and spend the day sleeping several days a week instead of out trying to reintegrate themselves in society. And of course they keep track of. It's a monitoring station.
Yeah, yeah. So they keep your name. They got everything
Come
down.
in, I'm not technically on the street anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. When I broke my neck, #911 was called. Police and paramedics came out, tried to stand me up when they found out I'm homeless and I'm high. Tried to stand me up twice, told me I need to leave, and then left me on the sidewalk for a couple more hours with six shattered vertebrae, a broken ulna, and a shattered right kneecap.
That's awful, man.
So, because I was hopeless.
Yeah. And that's what they do. It goes on and on.
I'm one of the lucky ones. You know, I was in Paradise Valley, living in an alley behind a shopping center, and a woman came up and rescued me. You know, we talked, and I explained my story, what happened. They cut me open, pulled out all the broken pieces of bone, took a grinder and ground out all the cracks. I lost 17% of my cervical vertebrae to that grinder. And I did sustain some spinal cord damage, so I got the traction. But they sewed me back up, sent me to post-op rehab for 30 days, and the whole time I'm there, they're talking about all-tech and long-term care. My body's fucked up. Right? But on day 29 of my 30-day stay at the rehab, they sent someone in and said, well, we're discharging you tomorrow. Where do you want to go? What? Excuse me?
Yeah. Pardon me.
and what happened to long-term care? I don't seem needing anymore. Well, I was flabbergasted. And they based their decision on physical therapy's recommendation because I had not made enough progress up to that point, which does that mean I need more care?
That's
I haven't made enough progress.
Like to me.
You know,
that's awful, man.
But, luckily, my first 3 years, I was on the street in a chair, thinking, for the first 3 months, I thought I could walk because I can get up and I can take steps.
Yeah.
I have no balance because I have no arms.
Okay.
No use of my arms. I can't even reach the top of my head.
Yeah.
And if I stumble just the least little bit, I'm not going to recover my balance. I can't still break my fall with my hands, so it's forehead against the ground. 3 times a day, 2.5 months, it convinced me, I need to go.
Yeah.
Beat me into submission.
Beat you in, man.
And,
that's awful, man.
But this lady up in Paradise Valley, she and her husband, they picked me up, put me in a hotel for 6 weeks, and got on the phone and called. And she browbeat every agency known to Phoenix, and she found the resources and made it possible. She got me off the street, put me in a skilled nursing facility, and got me healthy again. Got me put on Social Security. I get SSI now, and once I got my SSI, I transferred to a assisted living facility, which I currently reside. But I've been homeless for many years, and I spend more time out here than I do there. Luckily, I'm at a really great place, and the director, understands. The walls, over time, since I was 17, basically, There was a time where I was an outstanding member of society. From 17 to 26, I spent in prison. That was the only time I had walls and a roof.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable out here. And, this is where, my ministry takes me. I work for God.
Yeah.
Because we all do in His own way.
In His own way. Yeah.
And this is what my ministry is, to see these people. I'm not out teaching. I'm not out here, Bible talking. I'm out here showing them that, it is possible to, not be an ass.
Yeah.
To not be selfish. To not be stupid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out here stuck on stupid.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And here, now, thanks to this woman who fucking rescued me and gave me a real
Opportunity
to, and I can do it sober now.
Yeah.
I was out there living the same way. I'm a good person. I'm very, I try to treat other people like I feel that, God wants us to.
Yeah.
He gives me everything I need. Everything.
Man, that's awesome, man.
And sometimes he gives me what I want, just smack me upside the head later. I told you didn't need that.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Don't think he don't have a sense of humor. He's not no funny guy.
Yeah, funny. Yeah.
I have a strong relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
And I try to show these people that you don't have to be that ass.
Yeah.
You don't have to, treat other people with kindness and respect, and you get, kindness and respect back.
That's how I live, man.
That's the way the whole world is set up to work.
Yes.
Is you get out what you put in.
True. I think that the world has lost empathy and compassion. I think we just lost it for some reason. I remember...
because we are out of touch with our spiritual selves, but that is by design because of these people who control all these chemicals.
Oh, yeah.
God designed us to, we have, I don't want to sound, I hope we are magical creation.
Yeah.
This body is a self-healing, self-cleaning
True.
organism.
Yeah.
But we are bombarded with chemicals from the womb to keep that from happening, keep us from being
self-sustained.
Self-sufficient, self-sustaining.
Yeah. It's awful. Why
all
is
for
it?
the love of money.
Yeah.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Money is not evil.
Yeah.
It's a damn necessity.
Yeah.
But
you just blew my, blew my mind because I've already felt like this, the world is awful, man. It's an awful place. It should be a good place.
Yeah, it can be. And there are a lot of beautiful
things and people.
Still.
Yes.
But and some of them see a lot of, most of the population is falling for it.
Yeah.
And they're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Entertain the masses, and they don't bother us.
That's true. That's just like how they're trying to control speech and stuff like that. Everything's just going to kaput, Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, Democrats are
The way that this is just awful. I mean, they're arresting people who have no houses, no mailbox, no nothing. All they have is the little bit that they have left. I don't know. There's got to be a way to stop it, man. It's got to be.
Well, it's God knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And, the things are coming to a head, I believe.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. And, it's a lot of people are going to, they're going to wake up.
Yeah.
And punishment is coming.
And there it is.
Punishment is coming. You're going to get what you got coming to you. And but it's going to get ugly before it gets better. I think.
Yeah. It always gets bad before it gets good.
There's spiritual warfare going on, and the other side is messing with things that they don't understand. They're conjuring. They're doing witchcraft, and they're
playing with AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of different things, man. Yeah.
And they're trying to play God.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they're doing with the genome. They're trying to break down, and they're trying to create
what was here already, what someone already did.
And just like Satan, they want the glory. They want. It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
But we are in the end time. It's
coming.
I feel very strongly. I'll be here the last day. The devil's been trying to kill me since the day I was born. They gave me on my mama's breast, and I went for the nipple and turned blue. I was allergic. I couldn't even breastfeed. I was raised on goat milk.
Yeah.
I've been through some things in my life. They should have killed me. I've tried to kill myself, but I keep telling, the Lord said, I'm not done with you yet. I'm not done with you yet, Robert. And I keep telling him, I'm tired, Lord, I want to come home.
Yeah.
But, I just try to do my part.
That's awesome, man. That was beautiful, man. That was a good story, man. Dang, that was good. That was very good. That was one of the best stories I've gotten. Seriously, that was a good story. It made me think. It made me think.
That was just clip notes.
Yeah, I almost usually I'm not lost for words, I always have something to say, but I was lost for words a little bit there. That was pretty good, Robert, man. Made me think, just always, be respectful and just, treat people kind. I think, with those two things could change a lot of things.
Not necessarily kind, but respect.
Yeah.
You treat others with respect, but things are going to get worse. We got a whole last two generations that don't know nothing about respect.
Oh yeah.
Because when I was a teenager, they started telling kids, you don't have to respect your parents.
Oh, I know.
If they put their hands on you, you call us.
Yeah.
We'll lock them up. We'll take care of that. We'll stop that.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't respect your parents, you can't respect yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't respect yourself, you can't respect anybody.
That's the truth. These kids don't respect parents nowadays.
And look what the internet's done. It's completely taken the bit slap out the whole respect equation.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
The bit slap is in there for a reason
Yeah.
in that equation. It's a necessity to balance the things out. No,
Yeah, man. That's awful. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I guess that's what we'll do.
it's all, in the plan. God is so good at logistics. I mean, I'm a retired Bristol dumpster driver, semi-retired anyway. But I could wake up and my shoes are gone. Somebody stole my shoes on it. I'll be damned. And I get up and stumble over to a dumpster in an apartment complex, find a pair of shoes to fit me. I can, God, I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
And find a pack of cigarettes within minutes. The first time I seen that in my life, first time I saw God's hand in my life, I was hungry. Ain't ate in 2 days. I'm trying to sell a Seiko watch, my Seiko watch. The people are looking at me like I'm trying to sell a hot watch. And at that time in my life, I couldn't bring myself. I was too proud to pray down. I couldn't ask anyone for anything because that was weakness. And I walked back into the alley and I sat on one of the big blue transporter boxes and I just hung my head up. God, I'm hungry. Just like that. Not saying, God, I'm hungry. I was, God, I'm hungry. And I look up and there's a woman that just turned into the alley. She's got 2 to-go plates, clamshell plate. And as she's walking past, she said, here, take this. I got 2, I can't eat both of them. And walks away.
That was awesome.
And you know why that was so awesome for me? Because it opened my eyes. It allowed me to look back on my life and see how many million times that happened already. That footprints in the sand kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
You look back and you see only one set of footprints. That moment allowed me to see. It was like a roller coaster ride through my past. What he did. That's how. Whoa.
Oh, so you just went on a tangent, like, wow, that.
Yeah, once you see that, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who still can't see that in their lives.
No, I could see it.
I fly a sign. I hold a sign, have you ever been this hungry? And a man walked up to me 2 days ago. And he hands me $20, and he's feeling sorry for me, which, hits the $20 bill. And I told him, I'm blessed. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm blessed. He said, I don't see it. I said, well, I shattered 6 or 7 cervical vertebrae, and the good Lord sees fit to let me wipe my own ass. So I'm blessed.
Huh.
And he was that just confused him even more. He walked away shaking his head. How can people not see?
Yeah.
There was a time when I couldn't see either.
Yeah.
And hopefully, everybody's wake-up call works. Mine worked.
Man, I hope everyone who sees this, man, this is a very touching interview, and I'm glad I got a chance to meet you. But like I said, I got one question I always ask before I leave. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, if you could think out that far?
Well, I'm hoping I'm hoping I get to go home, but you know, if he's not ready, I'll still be here. You know,
Yeah.
living my life and being, you know, trying to set example for others. You know, and I'm not alone. There are people out here, even these bums out here. There's a lot of them that are good people too.
Oh, I know.
You
I
know,
know.
you know, most, you know, granted, most of them will, you know, they steal from each other. Let you set something down, it'll disappear real quick. They'll grow legs and walk away.
Yeah.
But there are still good people, even amongst us.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
No.
and that's encouraging.
That is encouraging.
You know,
Yeah, I could imagine.
If you can manage to be to not be selfish out here, living this life,
Yeah.
then there's hope.
There's
You know,
hope.
there's hope for man. You know,
I like that.
You just gotta get back to God. And I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not a preacher. I'm a firm believer that God created man. Man created a religion to control other men. So I don't care what church you go to, but you know, what you call yourself.
Yeah.
You know, just don't come hunt me down. But Muhammad, the prophet, he spoke to the same God that Moses did,
Yeah.
huh? But his the people he surrounded himself with saw opportunity to grab power and control. So let's change this word here. Muhammad's gone. He's not gonna refute it. And they designed the religion. They built the religion around the same message that God gave everybody that He spoke to.
Wow.
There are prophets. God still talks to people. He'll send them on missions and give messages. People don't want to hear it. They corrupt it. He delivers the same message over and over and over. He repeats the same message.
Yeah, people change it and streamline it and do their way with it.
To control other men.
Yeah.
They turn it into a religion.
Yeah.
Christ didn't come here to start a church, to create a religion.
Very
He came
true.
here to set an example and fulfill prophecy.
Yep. Well, man, it there, buddy, man. That
Okay.
was amazing.
Just tell me to shut up, I'll shut up.
No, that was good. No. I keep it around this time. That was amazing, Robert, man. This was a beautiful interview, and I want to just thank you. Hopefully, I'm here. I come here. I haven't seen you here. I'm shocked.
You got a YouTube channel? Or?
Yeah. I'll give you a card.
I got an Obama phone
Oh, okay. Yeah.
somewhere.
Here, you need. Where is it at? Hold on. Let me.
Probably right.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna get up and get it for you.
My hands don't work too well.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I'm here. I can help you, buddy. Hold on. Let me end this though.
Okay, yeah. Wrap it up.
Let me say thank you for
That's
all
a wrap.
that you do, and just being a great person. And
I ain't no great person. I'm an asshole.
well,
I
I like
ass.
the way that you
I mean,
think, man, and
yeah.
that's a lot right there. A lot of people think like fools, but seems like to me you have a good head on your shoulders, man, and I like that. I like thinkers, like people that think, and to me that means a lot. So I just want to thank you for letting me do this interview and being a part of it, man. Thank you so much, bud. Have a good one, okay?
Yeah, thank you. God bless.
God bless.